There's a certain electricity in the air when a fight like this is on the horizon. You can feel the tension, the anticipation, the chatter that never seems to stop. On one side, you have Artur Beterbiev, a human wrecking ball, a fighter who has never left an opponent standing at the final bell. 20 wins, 20 knockouts. He's not just undefeated, he's untouched, unchallenged. On the other side, there's Dmitry Bivol, calm, composed, a master of the sweet science. Where Beterbiev destroys, Bivol dissects. Where Beterbiev overwhelms, Bivol outmaneuvers. And here's the twist. Almost everyone in the boxing world believes Bivol is in for the same fate as Beterbiev's last 20 victims. Experts, former champions, and fans alike are predicting another brutal knockout. But Bivol? He doesn't care about the predictions. He's heard them all before. He's been written off before. And if you ask him, he's got something no one's talking about. A plan. A strategy that could dismantle one of the most feared men in boxing. This fight is more than a clash of two champions. It's a clash of philosophies, of power versus precision, and the outcome could change the light heavyweight division forever. So let's dive in. Artur Beterbiev isn't just a boxer, he's a force of nature. He's built a reputation not just on winning, but on completely dismantling his opponents. 20 fights, 20 knockouts. Let that sink in for a moment. Nobody has ever stood in front of this man and lasted the distance. From the first bell, Beterbiev doesn't box, he hunts. He stalks his opponents, cuts off the ring, and starts landing blows with the kind of power that doesn't just win fights. It changes careers. His style is relentless, calculated, and unforgiving. Beterbiev doesn't throw wild punches, hoping for a lucky hit. Every move is deliberate. Every punch is designed to break his opponent down, round by round, until there's nothing left. It's like watching a predator wear down its prey piece by piece. The scary part? He doesn't rush it. Beterbiev knows the knockout is coming. He doesn't have to chase it. He just keeps applying pressure, grinding his opponent down, and eventually they fall. They always fall. Now, most fighters with this kind of power are wild, reckless even, but not Beterbiev. There's a cold, methodical edge to his fighting style. He doesn't just hit hard, he hits smart. He knows how to cut off the ring, how to close the distance, and how to land his shots with devastating accuracy. And that's why so many people are betting on him to do the same thing to Dmitry Bivol. Why should this fight be any different? Beterbiev has never been stopped, never been hurt, and never been outboxed. So what makes Bivol think he's any different? But that's the thing about Dmitry Bivol. He thrives in moments like this. When the world doubts him, when the odds are stacked against him, that's when he shines the brightest. Look back at his fight with Canelo Alvarez. The majority of fans thought Bivol would crumble under the pressure. Canelo was boxing royalty, a man who had taken on the best across multiple weight classes. But Bivol didn't just survive that fight, he controlled it. He made Canelo look human, something no one expected. So when people predict that Bivol will be another name on Beterbiev's knockout list, he simply doesn't care. There's a quiet confidence in Bivol that you don't often see in fighters. He knows what he brings to the table, and he knows how to stick to a game plan. He doesn't fight with emotion, he fights with precision, with strategy. He's not interested in trading punches or proving he can take a hit. He's here to outsmart, outmaneuver, and outbox. And here's the thing, Bivol knows he doesn't need to knock out Beterbiev to win this fight. He doesn't have to play Beterbiev's game. Instead, Bivol's strength lies in controlling the pace. He's a master at maintaining distance, using his jab to frustrate his opponents, and slowly picking them apart. Bivol's style is about finesse. He won't let Beterbiev get close enough to unleash that devastating power, and if he can keep Beterbiev at bay for 12 rounds, he could very well win this fight on points. But that's easier said than done. How do you avoid a man who doesn't stop coming forward? That's the million-dollar question, isn't it? And the experts have a lot to say about it. Mike Tyson, one of the greatest to ever step into the ring, believes this fight is all but over before it starts. Tyson knows power when he sees it, and in Beterbiev, he sees a fighter who brings a level of physicality that's almost impossible to handle. I just don't see how Bivol keeps him off for 12 rounds, Tyson says. And that's the thing, Beterbiev doesn't give you time to breathe. He's constantly pressing, constantly closing the gap. To Tyson, it's a simple matter of pressure. Beterbiev will break Bivol down, just like he's done with everyone else. But then, there's Robert Garcia, who sees things a little differently. Garcia has trained some of the best fighters in the world, and he knows a thing or two about strategy. For him, the key to this fight isn't Beterbiev's power, it's Bivol's ability to control the pace. Garcia believes that if Bivol can dictate the tempo of the fight, keep Beterbiev on the outside, and avoid the big shots, he can win. I lean toward Bivol by decision, Garcia says. It's not about who hits harder, it's about who fights smarter. Even Gennady Golovkin, a man who knows both fighters well, has his own take. Golovkin respects Beterbiev's power, but he also sees the intelligence behind those punches. He's not just throwing bombs, Golovkin says. He's setting traps, he's making you think. But can that cleverness overcome Bivol's technical mastery? That's the big question. Here's what makes this fight so fascinating. Bivol doesn't need to knock out Beterbiev to win. In fact, he probably knows that trying to match Beterbiev's power would be a mistake. Bivol's strength is in his patience, his ability to pick apart his opponents without ever letting them get too close. He's a master of range, using his jab to keep opponents at bay, and when the time is right, he strikes with precision. Bivol knows that Beterbiev's game plan is simply to close the distance, land power shots, and break him down. But Bivol isn't going to let that happen. He's going to frustrate Beterbiev by controlling the pace, keeping him on the outside, and never giving him the chance to unleash his full power. And if Bivol can drag the fight into the later rounds, that's where things get really interesting. You see, Beterbiev has never gone a full 12 rounds. His fights rarely last that long. So, what happens when Bivol takes him into uncharted territory? What happens when Beterbiev starts to slow down, starts to feel the weight of those missed punches? That's where Bivol believes he can win. He doesn't need to knock Beterbiev out. He just needs to outlast him. And if there's one thing Bivol knows how to do, it's go the distance. But the danger is always there. Beterbiev only needs one shot, one opening, to end it all. And Bivol knows that. That's what makes Beterbiev so dangerous. He doesn't need to land a perfect punch to knock you out. He just needs to keep coming forward. Beterbiev is like a wave that never stops crashing. He breaks his opponents not just with his power, but with his relentlessness. Round after round, he presses forward, never giving you a moment to breathe, never letting you get comfortable. Even when Beterbiev gets hit, even when his opponents land clean shots, it doesn't seem to faze him. He just keeps moving forward, applying pressure, wearing his opponents down until they can't take it anymore. And when they finally break, that's when the knockout comes. It's almost inevitable. That's why so many experts believe this fight will end the same way all of Beterbiev's fights have ended, with another knockout. Bivol may be skilled, but can he really avoid that kind of pressure for 12 full rounds? Can he keep Beterbiev at bay long enough to secure a decision victory? That's the question everyone is asking, and it's why this fight has the boxing world buzzing. For both men, this fight isn't just about the belts, it's about legacy. Bivol wants to prove that he's the best in the world, that his win over Canelo wasn't just a fluke. He wants to be the undisputed king of the light heavyweight division, to hold all the titles and solidify his place in boxing history. Beterbiev, on the other hand, is fighting for more than just gold. He's fighting to prove that power can win over technique, that his relentless style is unstoppable, no matter who stands in front of him. This fight will define both their careers, and the stakes couldn't be higher. So who wins? Does the raw power of Beterbiev break through the finesse and strategy of Bivol? Or does Bivol's patience, his technical mastery, prove too much for even the Russian wrecking machine? This is more than just a fight. It's a battle for the future of the division, a clash of styles and a test of wills. As the boxing world waits in anticipation, there's one thing everyone agrees on. This fight is going to be unforgettable. Whether it's Beterbiev's devastating power or Bivol's methodical precision that comes out on top, this is a showdown that will be talked about for years to come. And with so much on the line, every second of this fight will be filled with tension, drama, and excitement. Now it's your turn. Who do you think takes it? Is it Beterbiev's night, or will Bivol shock the world once again? Drop your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more in-depth breakdowns of the biggest fights in boxing.